Hi everyone, welcome to Thursday, where of course we do a share and review. Today we're going to take a look at Chorus, and we're going to take a look at it on both the New Zealand market or the New Zealand Stock Exchange and also the Australian. Just the housekeeping, just remember that this is for educational purposes only, definitely not intended to be personalised financial advice. This is just some of the methodology that I look at when I'm looking to invest into shares. Right, let's take a look. Okay, I've got Chorus up here on the screen on the New Zealand market. And you can see here that it did close down for the week. Let's go and put our moving averages on and let's take a look. So I'll make that 30. Expenditure on. There we go. Okay, so it has just closed above the 30-week moving average. So I've got this over a 5-year period and it is looking at 1-week intervals. Let's also put on our 15-week indicator and just see how that compares. So if you like, it's only just crossed through the 30-week moving average. Certainly nothing to be writing home about. So that is something for me that I would want to take note of if I was going to be looking at investing into Chorus. Let's jump across and take a look how it's been performing on the Australian market. And you can actually see here that Chorus has had 4 weeks in a row of downward movement. Let's put the moving averages on here and just see how they compare as well versus our New Zealand market, how they look. So it is trading above the 30-week moving average, which is good. Let's also pop on the 15-week. Okay, so you've got a little bit more of a gap happening here where Chorus is trading above the 30 and 15-week. The 15-week is clearly above the 30-week. The little caveat I'm going to put in here, we've had 4 weeks of basically this share price in Australia closing down. Now, for me, one of my rules is that if I see 2 red candles in a row, I immediately stop. I stop all research on that particular share and I do not move forward, because that could be indicating that the share is potentially going to head into a downtrend. Not necessarily set in stone, but it's just a little rule that I have in place. Now, let's just take both of those off. Now, the thing that I noticed when I was looking at both of these charts is that on the Australian market here, Chorus paid a dividend back in September 2024. Now, if I move over to the New Zealand market, you will see that Chorus paid a dividend back in March this year. So that's really interesting. And I'm seeing that a little bit when I do a cross comparison between the New Zealand market shares that are listed on our stock exchange and the shares that are also dual listed on the Australian stock exchange. They're paying more frequent dividends on our exchange than what they are in Australia. Why? I don't know. Let's just go and take a quick look at the foreign currency calculator. Now, I use the ANZ one. Let's pop that in here. And at the moment, Chorus on the Australian Stock Exchange is trading at around $7.79. So that would cost you in New Zealand around $8.73. If I look here, on the New Zealand market, it's trading at $8.55. So there's about 18 cents difference, if you like, between what it would cost you and what the share is trading at on the New Zealand market. I've said this before, I'm not into arbitrage opportunities, but those are things that you do need to take into consideration if you're looking at doing that sort of thing. Okay, so there is a little bit of a differential there. Now, let's also put on and make a comparison between the New Zealand main board for the New Zealand listed Chorus. You can see here it's really sort of trading round about where the main board is. For me, I want to see that the share I'm looking at, in this case Chorus, having a clear differential above the main board. And I want to see that for at least 5 weeks, because then that means generally if it's performing above the main board and has been for, like I just said, at least 5 weeks, and if it's in an uptrend, then that can potentially indicate that there is further to run for that share. But for me, definitely not at the moment. It's not sort of setting that world on fire, really. Let's see how it compares on the Australian market. Just pop on the All Ords, and you can see here the All Ords is definitely well above where Chorus is trading. on the Australian market. So again, that wouldn't be something that I would potentially be looking at doing. But hey, everyone's different, and it depends on your own goals and your own trading rules. For me, trading rules are really important, and I have them set in place before I even start doing any research on any of the shares that are available. And that's something that I encourage you to do, because it takes out emotion, it stops the barbecue advice, all of those sorts of things. If you have a clear idea as to what your trading rules are, hey, I'm happy to help with that if that is something that you would like to review further. So I hope that's helped with a Chorus energy. Like I just said, it's certainly not setting the world on fire at this stage, but that's not to say that something isn't going to change in the future. And this is just purely looking at the charts. So just remember too, if there is a share that you would like me to review, take a look at, anything like that, by all means, happy to do it. Just sing out and we'll drop it in the comments below and we will see what we can do. Until next week, take care.